So this is what I have for a little fuel trip. Howdy Fixers, Fixer Good here. So today we're going to be going on to our journey here for part 2. If you haven't seen part 2 or part 1, check it out here. So this is just going to be tearing it down from the intake down all the way down to the heads and just showing you how I did it. So if you like it, give me a like. If first time you come across one of my videos, give me a subscribe and keep following. So this is gonna be like a 3-part video, 4-part video, just depends on how much time I have to put into it for the second part, for the last couple parts. But so thanks for watching, and here we go. So the last place we left off, we're going after the intake. So I'm taking all these 10s intake manifold bolts off, and you got these 3 long ones, and then here shortly we're gonna have 6 short ones we're gonna take out of the bottom. You want to take a 5mm Allen and take this lower intake off. You want to keep your mouth closed when you blow all this stuff out too, because there's some rat turds in there. So just be careful. So in the world of metric stuff, kind of the bastard of everything is these Allens. So I got all these loose except for this one, which is stripped. So I'm using easy out kind of thing like this, and I'm going to tap it on here, and it's going to hopefully go down and keep it in place. So let's see what I can do here. So that's down on there pretty good. I'm going to use my ratchet. Oof, so I go down more. There it goes. So this is a little easy pressure here. Whoop, it pops right out. And we'll get it out of the way. So, in order to get the intake off, I have to take this crossover bracket off. There's a couple 12s down there. There's this guy right there, and there's one over here and here. So I'm going to try to take all this stuff out, and then there still could be stuff holding it in, like this oil filter stuff. There's a bracket here, this lines, you got to take that off and get your bolts down here. There's actually 3 bolts on each side. And now I am going to a little bit, and take it loose. There it goes. So you want to take this bolt out of here, and then you want to go ahead and take your line loose here. And I think we're going to have to take this line off loose down here in order to get our stuff out. So now the intake's off, so yeah, I actually had to take the bolts all the way out in order to get it out of there. But I'm going to go ahead and take my valve covers off, and I'm just going to kind of show you a quick little video of it, but I'm not going to get too in depth with just valve covers. So that's what the cam phasers and everything look like. Got the valve cover off. So now I'm going to go off to the other side, and I'll show you where we're at after I get that stuff off. Alright, now we're halfway there, I guess, or quarter of the way there. So I got the valve covers off. You can see our cams, see our timing chain. So now next step is I'm going to go after the front timing chain here on this. So I'm going to have to go look up some information, see what it calls for, because some of these you have to rotate, and so it could be another like hour or 2 of doing this stuff, but before I get my heads off. But we'll see. So 2 10s here, and that's for your fuel pump of all things. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. It's a fuel pump because it runs off your cam. So you just want to make sure you take the 2 bolts off, and then it comes out, and then let your valve cover come out. So it goes there, down, and about. There's no T, so I'm assuming it's the one that's in the middle, but it looks like something got broke off, maybe? No. So it's lined up down there, so we want to make sure that these lines are lined up, and then we'll have to screw with our plated links later. So I took all the bolts out for my water pump. I just have this one 5mm Allen that's left here in the middle. So I got the water pump off. Now I got the water pump off. I got to take some of these pulleys off, and there's a bolt there. I think I can take this cap off, get this one off. I think my alternator and all that stuff can stay. I have to take my oil pan off the bottom, get all those in order to get access to my timing cane. And I gotta pull this bolt off for my crankshaft. So I get this guy loose, and he's done. So you're going to want to drain your oil, because you can see down there in my pan, it's not the best. It's kind of dirty in there, so I need to clean all that, drain all that oil out so I don't have a big mess. So I'm going to pull my drain plug. Now that I got the oil drained, I'm going to go ahead and take my pan off. There's a whole bunch of tins I got to take off. Alright, now that I got the 10 bolts for the 10mm on the oil pan, I'm just going to tap this a little bit. Do a little more prying to get it off. It's off. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. So our next step is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my solenoid valves out, take these out, and then I'm going to mark, or these are already marked, I'm just going to make sure I paint mark these so I know which head they came off of, and mark my cam. So I have some the pressure solenoid here. I marked it with the intake for for the rear. And these are marked. They're cam bearing covers here. They're marked, and I just put my own markers. So there's exhaust 1, exhaust 2, intake 2, intake 1, you know, and so forth. And it's for the back, or it's for the front. That's what I like doing. So next steps, I'm going to start blasting stuff off, and I'll show you next. So I'm going to go ahead and take all my lifters here. I'm going to mark those, and then I'm going to go ahead and take my head bolts off, and we're going to leave all this stuff in place until I can get over to the bench where my other stuff is and put it where it needs to be. So this is how I'm marking them. Continue to mark the rest of them, and then I'm going to put them in place. Alright, so the heads are off, and you can see this one's pretty wet. That's the one that was leaking coolant into it. Just going to show you something. So I didn't show you this, but you got to take your injector bolts out. That's in the valley, and they have really long stems. They're going to break off pretty easy, so you got to be careful. And then the next step is once you look at your heads, you got to look at your cams and your followers, because you see how these followers are like super shiny. Got a couple that are like really bad on the other end, and so we're gonna have to replace the cams probably and the followers. So this is some of the hardening coming off your followers here. You can see, you can actually feel in here there's a rough spot, and you go to the cam itself and there's a rough spot on the cam, so we're gonna have to replace some of our stuff. And these are really hard to adjust, so you have to like get new followers and all that kind of stuff all together. So I kind of show you how to mark stuff. So what I didn't show you is that there was a hidden bolt on the back head that you have to take out. It's a 12. Make sure you take that out, and you also need to make sure you mark each one of your cams, like for your intake and for your exhaust for each head. So this is how I like to mark them. So I just got your front intake, the front head, and the front exhaust. That's how I marked it, and just put them all in line. So this is what the finished product looks like, is how I have everything lined out. I got my fuel pump there, my fuel pump housing, everything marked for each side. Now I'm going to take my heads and clean them off so I can take them to the machine shop. So I just like using some Johnsons in the air hose to wipe all this stuff out, get all the oil out. Now they look pretty good, pretty shiny, so machine shop we go. So that's it, fixers. Thanks for watching my video. Really appreciate it. So that's how you take the heads off. I got them off the machine shop, and now I got them back from the machine shop, and that's what they are. They had to take 4 thousandths off the heads. So that's going to be in 3 or 4 parts, just depending on how much time I want to take, if I want to shorten it up. But thanks for watching. If the first time coming across one of my videos, just give me a like, give me a subscribe, tell a friend about it. I really appreciate everybody watching my videos and just the community that's growing with my channel, I guess I would call it. I really appreciate it. You guys are great. I enjoy talking to you. If you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, just comment down below. It doesn't have to be about this video, just anything at all. But you guys really make it all worthwhile. But thank you, and I appreciate it, and just stay along for the next video, which is either going to be a 3-part or a 4-part video series. So thanks for watching, guys.